Mic check. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jermaine Duval. I am an actor, videographer, and editor, and it's been a minute since I posted a video on YouTube, honestly. I've been doing a lot of different work and just trying to find my rhythm and also develop my craft at the same time. For me, it's important to put out quality. As an artist, as a videographer, it's important that the work that I put out is a reflection of my best work. And so sometimes as an artist, we got to pull away and focus on just developing our craft. And at times it can be hard to keep up with all of the different social media platforms, and I really don't put myself in under that pressure to trying to keep up because I don't think that it's beneficial for me in the long run. But anyways, I am in a place where I feel ready to create and to put content out. And so I want to talk about my experience working in the film industry, kind of just giving everyone an update. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to my channel. And I hope that you're able to get value out of the content that I put out. All right, y'all. So as I stated, I am an actor. I've been working in the film industry for some years now. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 2018. And for the most part, it's been an incredible experience. I've been growing, learning. Since I've been here, I've gotten into videography. I've been making a lot of connections, building a lot of relationships, and getting a lot of work at the same time. So it's been a lot of positive experiences that I'm grateful for. Now, at the same time, there has been some negative experiences as well. It has been a learning curve. I should also mention that I have a background in business. My bachelor's was in business. So it's been a little easier for me to navigate running my own business and just having that mindset because of my background. Nevertheless, in any industry, you're gonna run into challenges when you are building a business. And I've run into a lot of personalities, a lot of people. For the most part, I would say my experience has been positive. I've met a lot of great people, built a lot of good relationships. I have a clientele that's growing, and I'm grateful for that. At the same time, you're gonna run into bad experiences as well. You're gonna run into some people that just a headache, you know what I mean? But that's just a part of being in business. And what I've learned is that you never stop learning. And honestly, every experience teaches you things that is beneficial for you to help navigate moving and growing your business. All right, now, so one of the experiences that I want to talk about, it's so crazy because I was recently on YouTube and this video popped up and it was this YouTuber. His name is Sonway. I'm going to make sure I get that right. Sonway. Yeah, his name is Sonway. That's his username on YouTube. And he was talking about his experience working with a certain, well, I'll just say it, with Jacksons of Atlanta, a YouTube family. And what's so crazy is when I saw his video, I immediately remembered that back in November, I had saw their posting on Indeed. I'm always searching on Indeed and just looking. That's one of the ways that I target clients. And they live in the same area that I live in. And I reached out to them because I thought to myself, like, hey, this is a family looking for a videographer. They're right down the street from me. Maybe I can negotiate and work something out where they're able to pay my rate, and we're able to work something out where I'm getting what I need in order to give them what they need. Anyhow, around the time that this happened, it was like November 1st, we'll say around November 1st or November 2nd. I had just flown back from Bali. I went to a wedding in Bali, and they wanted to meet with me the same day that I got in. And it was just no way that was happening. To get back from Bali, I took 3 flights to get to Atlanta. And by the time I got back, I was just exhausted. I was tired. I was sick because I flew from Bali to Taiwan to LA. And then by the time I got to LA, the dry weather coming from a tropical island now being in the desert. So it's super dry. Like my health, it was just really bad. So when I got home, I could not think about trying to make a meeting, and I didn't even sleep because I wasn't able to sleep on the flight back to Atlanta. And so I hit them up, was like, yo, I got to reschedule. We chose another date. Anyways, the day that I was supposed to meet with them, 30 minutes, not even, like, I was heading out the door, and I got a text message from their contact person, and they basically wanted to reschedule, talking about they had like a family emergency. Mind you, our meeting is at, let's say 9. It's 8:30. Going out the door, they're about 15 minutes away from me, and they're canceling at 8:30 for a meeting at 9 a.m. Red flag. And that wasn't the first, right? When I looked at their breakdown on Indeed, I saw a lot of questionable things. But me being the negotiator that I am, I was like, there's no way I'm going to work for what they have listed as far as the pay and the hours that they want you to work and the deliverables, what they want as far as the edited content. So I'm like, ain't no way I'm signing up for this. But I'm a negotiator. I want to sit down with you. I'm a businessman. I want to talk to you. Even if I'm not able to make this work, maybe there's an opportunity for us to work together in another capacity when you need a videographer, maybe for a bigger shoot or whatever. And so I was still going to go down and sit with them and meet with them and talk to them just to introduce myself. But when I looked at the breakdown on Indeed, there were a lot of questionable things. And, I get that, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, sometimes you're looking for the best deal, right? I get it. But nevertheless, it's like, okay, you want someone to do all of this work? Like, it was ridiculous. Like, they wanted you to shoot, I think, up to 8 hours minimum per day. And then they also wanted you to edit content at the same time. To me, that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, for anyone who does editing work, that's a lot of time that you have to sit down and watch all of the footage that you've shot for the day and then have to edit it into something that is pleasing to watch. I'm a perfectionist. I take my time with my work. So I already knew like there's no way that this is going to work. But I, once again, came up with my own way as how I could navigate that. I have my own editor. So I'm like, hey, I can do the videography, pass the work on to my editors. They can handle this part of the business, but hey, we're going to need some more money for that, right? Anyhow, when they called or sent a text rather saying that they were unable to meet with me, I was just like, yo, this is another red flag. It's just unprofessional, and I'm not going to negate that they had a family emergency, probably did, but nevertheless, it was just like, when you start to notice multiple red flags, in my experience, that's usually a sign that this is someone you need to probably avoid. Anyways, fast forwarding back, I go on YouTube and I see this user Sonway, and I was like, yo, I gotta watch this video. More than anything out of curiosity, because in my mind, I'm like, who is this guy? When did he start working with them? Because when they stopped contacting me, naturally I'm thinking, okay, they must have found somebody. Okay, great, they're good to go. And so I'm like, I gotta watch this video. I gotta see what he's talking about. And it was an interesting video. Some of the stuff that he mentioned, I wasn't surprised because I had my concerns about what they had listed as far as what they were looking for. And I knew it wasn't gonna work for me. And in my mind, I'm like, anyone who's creating quality work, ain't no way they're gonna sign up for, what they want you to do at what they're willing to pay. And so I'm like, if they end up finding somebody, either the person is not gonna do good work. I feel like they're gonna sacrifice on the quality of the work, hiring somebody who's like a beginner, or that person is going to take on a position where they're not valued or not being compensated based on the quality of work that they're doing or that they're capable of. And at some point, it's just not going to work out. His position with them eventually came to an end. And I'm not going to go into depths about, his experience and everything that transpired, because you can go ahead and watch his video. I recommend doing that. But I do want to speak upon, as creatives, as artists, as entrepreneurs, we have to be very careful as to how we navigate and how we do business. Entrepreneurs, you have to pay attention to signs. You have to pay attention to the red flags. Sometimes when you're new in business, they're not so clear because you don't know. I want to share my experience so that hopefully someone can get value out of this and hopefully avoid finding themselves in similar situations that I've been in. All right, so whether you're running a videography business or any kind of business, it's so important for you to spend the time building structure for your business. When I got into videography, a big challenge for me was like figuring out my pricing, because one, I had no experience charging people for professional videography. When I got into videography because I was actually acting, and out of me just wanting to create my own content and not wait for somebody to give me an opportunity. I wanted to take the initiative to create my own stuff. I started to get serious about videography, and I started working with people just out of people seeing my work and like, hey, yo, your work is really good. I want to work with you. Like, okay, bet. But even then, I didn't really know how to price it because I didn't have the experience. So I paid someone who had the experience to show me, like, yo, how do I figure out how to price my services? And it was one of the best investments that I made because I was able to go immediately from that point on with every client, like, these are my prices, boom, 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 boom. There's no question. We're not guessing. We're not trying to figure it out as we go. And it's so important for every person running a business to know what their pricing is and to really spend that time fleshing it out so that when you work with different clients, you're not playing the guessing game. I recently worked with a client last week, and when I pitched to them, the deciding factor for them to choosing me over the other person that had reached out to them was the client said that my pricing was very clear. And so he hired me. And now I'm sure he also checked out my work, right? So he also was satisfied with the quality of the work that I was doing, but that was the deciding factor between choosing between me and the other person. So spending the time to figure out what your pricing is so important, and making sure that it is clear. And I also want to say that whatever you decide your pricing is going to be, stand on that price. For me, it was so intimidating, like, once I was fleshing out what my pricing was going to be, because I'm like, yo, I've never charged anybody this amount of money for the work that I've done. But the person who was helping me was like, no, trust me, like, stick to this. And it can be intimidating because when you're jumping into a business, if you're in a position where you're desperate for money, or you're just trying to make money and you just really want to do what it is that you love, or you want to, to be able to do what it is that you're doing, sometimes you'll do it for less than what you're worth. But then you are conditioning people to expect you to work for less than, right? So you got to stand on your price. You got to stand on your price. And sometimes, and I think that's kind of what happened with Sonway, where I think he went into the situation kind of with the same mindset that I had, that, this is way below what he should be charging for what it is that they want. But he signed a contract. So now he's in the situation where there's a binding agreement where he's agreed to do the work that they're requesting at a price that is much lower than what he should be receiving. And the thing that I've learned about, man, in Atlanta, dare I say it, there's a thin line between entrepreneurship and scamming. And I'm not going to say that they scammed or trying to scam him. I can't speak for him, right? But I can say that there are people that will try to take advantage, and you cannot allow people to pressure you or to convince you to do something that you don't want to do. And if you do agree to it, I guess you just got to learn from the experience, but I hope that his takeaway is stand on his price and not to give in because whether there be financial challenges or because someone's pressuring him, whatever the case may be. And I'm not trying to speak negatively of these individuals, but just based on my experience in Atlanta, I've noticed that there are a lot of people that want to take, and a lot of times they're not willing to meet you where you want to be, or they will try to withhold. And I've had that happen where I've worked with, very few, maybe only one or two in my experience doing videography, where people have tried to not pay me my price or have tried to get a refund, and they will make excuses. I'm providing you exactly what you asked for, but they're still trying to wiggle their way out. Ideally, you have to just learn to try to avoid those people or find ways to prevent those type of situations from happening. And once again, it just goes back to building your business in a way to help protect yourself as much as possible. And when you start to notice red flags, eventually you get to a place where you're able to detect and see the signs early enough to help avoid dealing with those types of people altogether. Because at the end of the day, I just don't think that it's worth the headache, but I'm big on my peace and just keeping positive energy and working with positive people, because it's just not worth it. You know, even if you do work with them a couple times, make a little money here and there. Right now, I know he was mentioning that he had to go to court. You know what I mean? It's just dealing with a lot of stuff that can bring a lot of other challenges that ideally you just want to avoid altogether. All right, so if you stuck around, thanks for watching this video. I really hope that you are able to get value out of it. And for my entrepreneurs, I hope that you're able to navigate building your business in a way that allows you to protect yourself, grow your business, make money, and create value for the people that you work with, and build good, healthy relationships that you are able to sustain over time. I plan on creating more content. It's about that time. Like I said in the beginning, I need to be posting more often, and I definitely feel like I'm in that space where I'm ready. Like I said, I don't want to force anything. I don't want to feel like I have to keep up with the next person, but I really feel like I'm in a place now where I'm ready to create content for YouTube and give myself the opportunity to share with the world my creativity through the form of video. And I'm really excited about it because my work has been getting a lot better, and so I'm excited to put that out into the world. So I hope that you stick around. What's up, y'all? Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Now time to break all this equipment down.